embroidery, embroidery, embroidery. How to embroider on towels, and then how to embroider embossed towels. The perfect gift for anybody. Hi, I'm Hope Yoder with Embellish, manufactured by R&K Distributing. And let's talk towels. Get it? Instead of turkey? Okay, I guess if I have to say get it, it probably wasn't a good joke. So let me just get right into it. I love to embroider on towels. I've been embroidering on towels since my 22-year-old was born and even before, because you can give the perfect gift, easy little hooded towels, maybe monogrammed bath towels, a matching set. It's the perfect gift to give to make in a short time. So you're going to embellish towels. So let's talk about just towels first. What I'm showing you is a new embroidery collection that we have called Mermaids and Unicorns. Now, I don't really get it what mermaids and unicorns have to do with each other, but if you've ever been on Pinterest, you see mermaids and unicorns everywhere. So this design collection has both, and it's super cute. It also includes a free pillow, and this is a reading pillow. You could put your book here and maybe your pencils, coloring book. So you get the free pattern so you know what to do with the designs. That's included in that. But with the mermaids and unicorns, we just did a washcloth. And it's really important to use all the right stuff. So let's talk about the stabilizer. Do we hoop it or do we not hoop it? Let's talk about a floater, and do we want to top it with something? So in this sample, I have the good and the bad. So the bad sample is going to be this one right here. And we're going to talk about this. So this I just embroidered, and I used our sticky tearaway, and then I didn't use a topper on it. And then I've washed this, I think, once or twice. And if we have a close-up here, you may not be able to see it, but all of the toweling is starting to poke through the thread. So think of it as you're weeding your garden, and sometimes you put a weed barrier under the mulch. And why do we do that? Well, it's so that the weeds don't poke through the mulch and dirty up your flower garden. So that barrier keeps all the weeds at bay. Well, a topper is going to do the same thing on a terry towel, but you've got to use the right topper. So on this side, you can still see a little bit of the shine of the topper there, but this one, if you look right in the towel section, we've washed that and there is no thread poking through. So the topper that we used, we have two in the embellish line, and most of the time I've referred to it as a spacer to keep the threads lifted off of the fabric so they don't sink in. But you know what? The threads are going to sink in on a towel anytime anyway, unless you use the right topper. I would want to make sure that this topper stayed underneath my thread forever and a day. That means when I pull it away and I iron the residual away, I don't ever have to worry about it heating up in the iron and dissolving or liquefying. It's going to stay there. The iron isn't going to remove it. And that's why the towel still looks good. So always use embellish, iron away clear topper. It's still going to keep the drape of the fabric, and of course a washcloth isn't really going to drape. But we also used our beautiful matte 40 weight polyester thread, one of my favorite threads, super strong. I even do long arm quilting with this. All right, so now let's talk about underneath. And before I get started on going into that detail, don't forget about this reference guide. If you've not seen it, it's on our rnk-embellish.com page under the resources. We did a nice video explaining stabilizers here. And then when you print this, we've got a section, and this is all what I'm referring to. So if you would like a printed version, you'll find it on our website. And we are looking under towels and embossed towels. So you can find all of that reference material there. So what I'm going to do for a towel, I really don't want to hoop a towel. I usually don't. Now this isn't a very good quality washcloth. It was one of those that come in a stack of about 10 for just a few dollars. So I probably could hoop this, but let's say it was a better washcloth. I don't want to crush the fibers and cause hoop circles or hoop burn. So I want something sticky. So I'm going to hoop sticky tearaway stabilizer. Now the sticky tearaway stabilizer is an amazing, unique product that we've developed. It's not a tearaway. and it's not a wash away. It's half and half. So it has a very light water-soluble sticky coating that will never gum up your needle or shred the thread. But it's made on a 50% of our rinse away mesh and 50% of our bold tear away. So the right amount stays underneath the thread, and if there's no thread there, it completely washes away. So we're going to stick that to the embroidery hoop. We're going to hoop the sticky tear away in the hoop, score it, remove the release paper to expose the sticky, and then we finger press the towel down, and then we tape the topper over it. Now, looking at the back of this, you can see I used the same sticky tear away on both the good and the bad sample. And here it's still soft. Where there was no thread, the stabilizer washed away because it was half water soluble. So that's how you embroider on a towel. As a quick recap, you're going to hoop sticky tear away stabilizer in the hoop, score to make marks on the release paper so you can remove it, tear it away, throw it away, and then you're going to stick your towel to the sticky stabilizer and add a topper. All right, so now let's talk about embossed towels. Some of that is still the same and some of it isn't. Oh, you know what I forgot to show you? Here's a little tip. We have this amazing new Embellish vinyl weeding tool, and this tool is made for heat transfer vinyl like what I'm using, but it's also great to remove. Let's get a little close up here, and you can see even though it's gone through the wash and the dryer, it doesn't dissolve the Embellish Iron Away clear topper. But I can take my little weeding tool and I can get underneath there and just kind of quickly pick the topper out to get it going. So this isn't just for vinyl. Now, embossed towels. I've got some samples underneath here. Let me show you on the table. So my embossed towel this is actually minky fabric that I embossed. So it's like a low pile fake fur. And we made this sample with our incredible new software program called Embellish Maker. And in the simple click of a mouse, you can create embossed monograms that you can use on minky or washcloth or toweling. So that's how we made the sample that you see here and the following samples. So embossed towel, the technique for embossing is very elegant. And so if you see the little close-up area here of his towel, we actually have embroidered in the center with white thread so it blends in with the fabric. The embroidery portion of this acts as a topper. So it traps down all the towel nap, and then it leaves no stitches where I have a his and her towel. So this is his, and so there's no thread here, and the towel loft is poking through. But then I wanted to go a step further and add these satin stitch rings. So I just told you that you need to use a iron away clear topper on a towel, but there is an exception. The exception to that rule is embossed towels. So instead of using the iron away topper, I'm going to use the rinse away clear topper. So here's what we're going to do. Here's a sample, and the iron away topper we are going to use on the satin stitch. Otherwise it would poke through just like on the Little Mermaid. But where we're embossing and the thread acts as a topper, that should be the rinse away clear topper. So there's the his, and then we've got the hers version. And here's another little sample. Let's start here. So step number 1, you're going to hoop the sticky tear away. And I've already done that. And so I've hooped it with the shiny side up, and the shiny side is the release paper. Now here's another great use for the Embellish vinyl weeding tool. You can score it, and that means I'm just kind of poking into the top layer, trying not to go all the way through to the bottom. Yay, I did a good job. A lot of times on camera, I'm a bull in a china shop, so I might have gone all the way through. In that case, I would have had to just get another piece of stabilizer. What I never ever do is patch it. People have told me for years, oh, you can just patch it. Well, every time I've patched it, meaning I stick another piece like a Band-Aid underneath of the sticky to reuse it. Y'all don't do that. Stop doing that. You're worth more than that, because when you patch it, that's the area where the outline stitches never match up. All right, so this is garbage. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our towel and we're just going to finger press it down. All right, and it is ready to go on the hoop. But before I do that, I am going to lay my topper. Now, the first topper for the emboss is going to be the rinse away clear mesh. So I would lay that over the hoop. Got it? All right. So that's the procedure and how to use the sticky. But let's look at this finished towel. I did a washcloth. Let's get a close-up of this. This is a tiny little embossed towel, and I thought this would be really fun, so I've made an early Christmas gift. All right, let me get that centered here so you can see it. And this is tone on tone. It's supposed to be very subtle, and it says wash, and you can see the thread. I've washed this about 3 or 4 times, and if you can look in this contrasting thread color, I don't have any thread poking through. Let's take a look at the back of this. And so that is my sticky tearaway. It's washed away. Can you see between those rings? By washing it, it dissolved the 50% water soluble. It has nothing to hold it to the towel because there's no thread there. So if you get a close-up of that, you see that it's gone, but the stabilizer stays in all the right places. So I have stitched this out, but I have not torn away the stabilizer. So let's talk about that. You can see that I have the sticky underneath. All right, I've got the sticky underneath, water soluble. And step number 1, let's kind of fold this back, is I have the rinse away clear topper underneath. And I've embroidered that. And before I embroider the second color, which would be this satin ring, then I lay the second topper, which is the iron away clear topper. And let's just tear this away so you can kind of see that. That is underneath the ring. So in this case, I've used 2 toppers. Rinse away clear is in the center tone on tone. Then I tore it away, and then I placed my iron away clear topper for any satin stitches. Make sense? All right, I got a couple more inspirations for you. Let me go back to this towel. And this really has nothing to do with towels, but it's kind of cool, and it was on this sample. So back to our mermaid and unicorn, the pillow. Did you notice the shine here? Well, let me show you what we've done with one of our crafty products. So we have 10 beautiful one-step process of heat transfer foil. And that's what's on my t-shirt. And we have a whole video talking and showing you about it. So be sure you hop on over to that video. But with the foil and our weeding tool, I can use this for applique. I don't even need a digital cutter. So this is calling all non-digital cutters. Maybe you have a pasta machine, not really, but like an AccuQuilt or a Sizzix or a Big Shot, and you want to roll it through the dies, you can use our foil. Or you can just use it as fabric. So what if we took one of those little mermaids? Let's go ahead and get close on this. And so this is in the process, and I have taken the foil and I just cut a little piece of it. And this is called Rip Away Applique. And so for this, I am going to use my weeding tool to just get in a corner. And I'm going to try to go just get a little corner. There we go. And then I'm going to remove it from the clear carrier sheet. Now, normally this clear carrier sheet, you're going to put it on the fabric and press it. The heat of the iron is made to withstand this pressing sheet. But instead, I just pulled it completely off. All right. And the dull side goes down, and you can see I've done that there. And I do my machine embroidery, and then I stop. Notice I didn't trim it. I have it completely finished to the satin stitch. But now I'm going to take my weeding tool, and I'm just going to rip it away. hence rip away applique. Now I've not fused this down, and this will rip out completely unless I activate the fusible webbing. And so that underneath we've done, and you can see we've used our gold. That's the same thing that's on my shirt. Then we have the blue, and then we have the kiwi, and then we take the heat of our iron and a cover sheet, which would be this clear carrier sheet that I pulled it away, and I'm going to lay it back down. All right, and then I'm going to heat activate it with the iron following the directions. And so I've got a cool applique fabric that's metallic that has a lot of shine.